好的，今天我们来挑战一下这个 Aussie English 的 Ultimate Australian Quiz。
So, you reckon you know a bit about Australia? Let's put it to the test. Today I have 20 little questions for you in this Ultimate Aussie Quiz. Let's go. Alright, so I'm going to show you these questions on screen. Each one's going to have 4 options, and you're going to have a few seconds each question to work out which option is the correct answer. If you need time, just hit pause. Let's do it. Number 1. In which state or territory is Uluru found?
这个简单。
In which state or territory is Uluru found? This is also known as Ayers Rock, but the indigenous name is Uluru. A. Victoria. B. The Northern Territory. C. Western Australia. Or D. Queensland.
哎，我怎么觉得好像这是 B The Northern Territory， 虽然它是在中间，但是它是属于达尔文的管辖范畴的。
The answer is B, the Northern Territory. And it's a bloody long way away. I tell you what, it takes about 2 days to drive there from Melbourne. Number 2. What is the capital city of Tasmania? A. Launceston. B. Hobart. C.
其实上面
Melbourne.
有答案是不是？
Or D.
那
Sydney.
个地图上面 Launceston。
The answer is B. Hobart. Launceston is a large city in Tasmania. Melbourne is the capital of Victoria, and Sydney is the capital of New South Wales. Question 3. Approximately how many Indigenous languages were originally found in Australia? So approximately, not the exact number, approximately how many Indigenous languages were there in Australia before colonisation? A.
这
10.
个我知道，
B.
这个我们
50.
语言学学过，
C. 100. Or D. 250.
这是最多的那个。
The answer is D. 250. There were around 250 different languages in Australia and many, many more dialects of those languages in Australia at the time. Probably around 600 to 800 different dialects. Question 4. Actor Paul Hogan launched to worldwide fame in which classic Australian film? A. Muriel's Wedding.
我只知道 C。
B. Crocodile Dundee. C. The Castle. Or D. Rams.
那我就选 C 吧。
The answer is B.
啊，
Crocodile Dundee. 5. In which year was Australia colonised by the British? A. 1688. B. 1770. C. 1788. Or D. 1818.
788吧。
And the answer is C. 1788 is when the first fleet arrived in Australia and it was colonised. In 1770, this is when Captain Cook discovered Australia and mapped the east coast. Question 6. What's Australia's biggest export? A. Wool. B. Beef. C. Gold. Or D.
铁矿石
Iron ore.
Iron ore, I think.
The answer is D. It's iron ore. Australia exports nearly 1 billion tonnes of iron ore every single year, and it earns about $150 billion a year from that export.
所以 iron ore 那个不是 iron ore，iron ore 是 iron ore，所以铁矿石 iron ore。我的狗在吃东西，所以比较吵，不好意思。
Crazy numbers. 7. Which of the following colours isn't in the Australian Aboriginal
黑
flag?
红吧，
So which of these colours is not a part of the flag?
所以绿的应该不是。
A. Green.
Yeah.
B. Red. C. Yellow. And D. Black.
感觉像德国国旗。
And I know loads of you are going to be like, black isn't a colour, it's a shade. You know what I mean. So which one? A. Green. Who of the following was the most famous Australian bushranger? A. Ned Kelly. B. Kevin Rudd.
What? Bushranger
C. Captain Moonlight. Or D. Ben Hall.
我没太听过，除了 A 吧
The，answer is A. Ned Kelly.
不知道是谁。
He was the one who made the armour and had the shootout with the police. So Kevin Rudd was a prime minister and he's still alive today. He was a prime minister about a decade ago. Captain Moonlight and Ben Hall were also bushrangers, but nowhere near as famous as Ned Kelly. Question 9. The largest Australian native land mammal is A. The red kangaroo. B. The kangaroo rat.
这个太简单了吧
C.
A 吧，
The koala. D. Buffalo.
我们有 buffalo 吗？
The answer is A. the red kangaroo. The kangaroo rat is definitely nowhere near as big as a red kangaroo. A koala is about the size of a small dog, a medium-sized dog. And a buffalo, although bigger than a kangaroo, is not a native land mammal to Australia. Question 10. The Sydney Opera House is found in which state? A.
D. New South
Western.
Wales.
C.
Okay.
The answer is D. New South Wales. The name should have given it away. The Sydney Opera House. Question 11. Which of the following snakes is the most deadly to be found in Australia and the world? A. The taipan.
应该是
B. Carpet python.
carpet 没事儿的，
C. The red belly black snake.
应该是这个
Or D.
红肚
The
子
copperhead. The answer
black
is
snake.
the taipan. And if you wanted to get more specific, the inland taipan. So this is not only the most deadly snake in Australia, but it's the most deadly snake in the world. Question 12. What colours is the corroboree frog? So this is a tiny little frog that's very endangered and it's found on the Great Dividing Range near Mount Kosciuszko, I believe. So what colours is this frog? A. Yellow and blue. B. Black and yellow. C. Blue and white. Or D. Orange and white. The answer is B. Black and yellow. These guys are very cute. They used to be in huge numbers. In fact, I think they were the largest biomass of any species in that ecosystem. But now there are only about 50 individuals left in the wild. Question 13. Prime Minister Scott Morrison's nickname is A. Moscow. B. ScoMo. C. Scotto.
我觉得 Scotto
Or D. Maury. The answer is
C
B. ScoMo.
ScoMo
Question 14.
ScoMo
How long have Indigenous people lived in Australia? A. Less than 10,000 years. B. Between 10 and 20,000 years. C. Between 20 and 30,000 years.
万年
Or D. Between 40 and 60,000 years.
C 吧
The answer is D. Indigenous
这么
people
长
have occupied Australia for between 40,000 to 60,000 years, and they are the oldest continuous culture in the world. Question 15. How many ships were in the first fleet? So this was the group that came out to colonize Australia in 1788. How many ships did the first fleet comprise? 7. C. The answer is C. There were 11 ships in the first fleet.
1788年
Question
是吧
16. The Australian slang term for a sausage is A. A soso.
Snag.
Answer is B. A snag. And remember, that great Australian meal, a piece of bread, a sausage or a snag, and some tomato sauce. You can get these at Bunnings on the weekends. Question 17. What was the first Indigenous word to enter Australian English? So which word from any Indigenous language was the first one to enter Australian English? A. Boomerang.
回旋镖
B. Kangaroo.
袋鼠
C. Dingo.
野狗
Or D. Koala.
考拉
The answer is B. Kangaroo.
of course I see
And funnily enough, this happened before Australia was colonised. So this happened in, I think, the year 1770 with Captain Cook going along the east coast of Australia. He interacted with the local Indigenous people, I think around Sydney, and asked, what the hell is that hopping creature? And they said, it's a kangaroo. It's a kangaroo, mate. Question 18. How many states does Australia have? How many states does the territory, as well as the Australian Capital Territories, aren't states, they are territories. Question 19.
States
What is the approximate area of the Australian continent?
中国是
A.
960万是吧
1.5 million square
所以
kilometres.
比
B.
应该是最大的那个
2.4
气
million
气
square kilometres. C. 0.7 million square kilometres. The answer is
D
D.
Yep.
The Australian continent, including Tasmania, is about 7.692 million square kilometres. Question 20. Good job, guys. You've made it all the way to the end. In which Australian state or territory is the Great Barrier Reef found?
不是
A.
凯恩斯
Queensland.
Queensland
B. The Northern Territory. C. New South Wales. Or D. Tasmania. The answer is A. Queensland. The Great Barrier Reef stretches along almost the entire coast of Queensland, and it is approximately 2,000 kilometres in length. All right, great job, guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Don't forget, you can listen to this episode on the Aussie English podcast as well. The link will be in the description. In the meantime,
好的，那我们看看我们做对了几题啊？好像没有说啊，这个老师教的非常好，他的频道大家也可以看一下啊，有很多关于发音、俚语，还有听力练习，主要是发音和听力吧，我觉得啊，特别适合想要快速熟悉澳洲口音、学一些当地人说话方式的同学们。好了，那今天就到这里，拜拜，我教书去喽。